Hey guys, it's Chef Jason, your Ace Hardware grilling expert, and we're hanging out here at my local Ace Hardware for today's edition of Ace This Beef Wellington. I'll tell you what, super excited because we are cooking on the big green egg today, and we have a fantastic recipe for you. So let's do a little food flyover, walk you through the ingredients. We're gonna show you step by step how to make an amazing beef Wellington. Okay, ingredients today, super easy, but I'll tell you what, beyond flavorful. So we're gonna start off with some mushrooms, and we have 1.5 pounds of mushrooms. And like I say in the recipe, go ahead and use those cremini or baby bellas, as they're also known. Or you can use golden shiitakes, you can use oyster mushrooms, you can use button mushrooms as well. We're gonna make a beautiful duxelle. We're gonna flavor these mushrooms, make a beautiful mushroom paste with some shallots, a little bit of my favorite squeezed tube garlic, then we're gonna add some dried thyme. Then, to kick it all off, we're gonna add a little bit of heavy cream to really make that mushroom duxelle shine. We're gonna season the Chateaubriand today with a little bit of rub-a-dub. This is a beautiful 2-pound Chateaubriand, which is the center cut of the tenderloin. We're gonna wrap it in puff pastry and then give it a nice egg wash on the outside. We're gonna go ahead and get the big green egg all set and ready to go. We're gonna fire this up to 600 degrees today so we can get a beautiful sear on our Chateaubriand, but then we're also gonna use that for the Dutch oven to saute off the mushrooms and make that beautiful duxelle. Now, once we get that all set and done, we're actually gonna hook up the Egg Genius, slow this down, bring it back down to 400 degrees, add our convector, and then we are going indirect to finish this off. First step is to go ahead and get this Chateaubriand seasoned. So like we always say, I'm gonna use a little bit of oil to act as my binder, and you'll see I just roll that around. Now I wanna get the entire barrel, and I wanna get the ends as well. And then like we always say, you guys, season it as light or as heavy as you want. So I'll get that seasoned, I'm gonna roll that around a little bit. Get that all set on all edges. But hey, check this out. Now I'm gonna use the ends to soak up all that, get everything utilized perfectly, and there you go. We are seasoned. Now, I'm gonna let this sit for just about 5 minutes, and then it is over onto the big green egg where we're gonna get this seared off 90 seconds aside. We have the big green egg preheated to 600 degrees. Now, this is the first part of this beef Wellington process. We're gonna take that Chateaubriand and now we're going to sear it off for 90 seconds aside. Very important to remember here. We don't actually want to cook this. We just wanna get a sear going on, like I said, about 90 seconds aside. Then we're gonna pull this off and give it a rest. So we'll go ahead and let this go. The moment you've been waiting for. We are going to make the mushroom duxelle, or it's kind of a mushroom paste, right? Or a mushroom stuffing. So what we're gonna do first, we've heated our Dutch oven up at 600 degrees. I'm gonna add the mushrooms. I'm gonna add that 1.5 pounds of mushrooms. Now, keep in mind, there is a lot of water in mushrooms. So our goal here is to saute these until that water reduces and these mushrooms start to get beautiful and golden brown. So we'll get these guys sauteed off here real quick. We'll catch up with you when these guys are nice and golden brown. Okay, so you can see we've got some beautiful browning and some golden color on those mushrooms. Super important because 2 reasons. One, it's gonna reduce that water and get those mushrooms reduced down. And you can tell we have a lot less in the pan than we had before. Secondly, it concentrates that umami, that glutamic acid in those mushrooms and makes them fantastic. Now, we're gonna go ahead and add our shallots, our garlic, and our thyme. And we're gonna saute this now for about 2 to 3 minutes or until the garlic and shallots start to brown. We've got the mushrooms, the shallots, the garlic, and the thyme all sauteed. Now we're gonna go ahead and add that 1/2 cup of heavy cream. What the cream is gonna do is reduce down, make this absolutely fantastic, but then help us form that beautiful mushroom paste or that duxelle that we're gonna use for the beef Wellington. So we'll go ahead and let this reduce, and we'll see you back at the cutting board when it's time to wrap and make these perfect Wellingtons. First thing we did was we went ahead and whisked these eggs, right? Because we wanted to make sure we got everything fully incorporated and it became a beautiful egg wash. Now, what I did was I let the puff pastry defrost, but I wrapped it to make sure that it didn't dry out. So now we'll go ahead, and puff pastry normally comes floured. You can put it on parchment if you want, but I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it floured as is. I'll flip that guy over, put that floured side down a little bit, and we should be set. I'm just kind of flattening this just a little bit, right, to make sure everything fits wonderfully. Now that the puff pastry is kind of finishing up on the cutting board, we're gonna go ahead and take that mushroom duxelle. Now look at this, nice and beautiful, right? That is absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead now and coat the rest of this and let it get exactly where we want it, all perfect and beautiful and total umami. All right, now that we're all mushroomed up, I'm gonna take my egg wash and brush around the edges here. This is gonna help seal this off, so I wanna make sure I do a good job and get this all ready. Now, we're gonna do a little bit of stretching, a little bit of finagling, a little bit of wrapping, and we're gonna get this all set and ready to go. I like to start with the front edge, so I'll grab that like that, and I'll give it a little pull, and I will go up into the middle, just like that. Now, check this out. Come around the side here. We will push the sides in, just like that. Now we're gonna take the back and wrap that all the way up as well, and tuck that side in too. Just be careful, you guys, when you're stretching. We wanna make sure that we are not ripping and tearing, all right? Like I said, we're stretching, finagling, just a tiny bit of pulling to get it right there. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm just gonna take a little pizza pan here. We're gonna put a little bit of oil on that, just to help this not stick. So we'll rub a little bit of oil on here, right? So that doesn't stick. Now, check this out. We are going right on there with that amazing beef Wellington. Okay, next up, I will see you at the big green egg. All right, so we went ahead and slowed the egg down and got it all adjusted and set back down to that 400 degrees. We have the convector in there. We added our Egg Genius pit temperature probe because now we're gonna let the Egg Genius do everything. So basically, we'll get this shut. We will let it sit and hover right at that 400 degrees. We are preheated, 400 degrees, set for indirect. Now, we're gonna go right in the middle with that beautiful Wellington. Then, guess what, guys? We're gonna use the Egg Genius. Like I always say, if you don't have an Egg Genius, make sure you have a beautiful, beautiful digital thermometer, because that is going to make difference. Look at this now. I am going right in the end, all the way into the middle. I'm gonna cover that up just a little bit. Now, we're gonna go ahead and cook this for 10 minutes. Then we're gonna come back and give it an egg wash. Then after the egg wash, we'll cook it to the final desired temperature. We are right at 100 degrees now, which is great. So I'm gonna go ahead and brush this with egg wash now to get that beautiful brown exterior, and we will get this all set and ready to go. All right, we hit that 115 degrees, and check this out. It is time to rest now. Now, the important part is we're gonna let this rest here about 5 minutes before we get to carving and do, you know what we always do, little quality control. All right, it is time to slice in here. Now listen, I cheated a little bit and peeked because I wanted to make sure it was perfect for you, but I'll tell you what, I think we're in a pretty solid place. Well, I hope you're ready, because beef Wellington has been on my mind for like the last week while I was getting ready to finish it today. The helpful folks are excited as well, because this is lunch for all of them today. Now listen, you are wondering, how do I get notified when all these videos and recipes go live? Subscribe to the Ace Hardware YouTube channel. You will be notified when we go live every week with a brand new cooking video. Then we always ask you for your questions and comments, because that helps guide us along. It tells us what would you like to learn, and definitely how we can be more helpful. You know, our goal is to make you rock stars in the backyard cooking circuit. Then don't forget, at the end of today's video, we have some more Big Green Egg content coming up that is absolutely going to help hone your skills, polish your skills, and really get you ready for that neighborhood competition circuit. I am ready for quality control, that is for sure. Hey, I'm Chef Jason, your Ace Hardware grilling expert. Thank you for hanging out with us today. I'm glad I cut this end piece, because really what it means is, like, I get this delicious little pocket, right, of pastry and mushrooms, and cheers.